Hello everyone. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at an article from The Guardian. Now, this was published on February 28th. It's written by, I'm assuming she's German with a name like this, Stephanie Kirschgessner and Emily Holden, who's in Washington. I'm assuming just Emily's in Washington. I'm not sure. They could be. But this has to do supposedly with climate change. This is in their climate change section. But yet, Naomi Seibt, I can't say her name. I apologize. I'm butchering it. Anti-Greta activist called white nationalist an inspiration. Now, if you get into the article, she actually really didn't do that. But, okay. Sure, whatever. German teenager spoke at the U.S. right-wing conference CPAC. See, they got to label it right-wing. They can't say conservative. Now, mind you, I can't stand Charlie Kirk. I can't stand anything that has any associations with him. But at least I can admit, because the people that are going there, that shitbag, are conservatives. He's just a neocon never-Trumper who jumped on the train because he was like, woohoo, cash in. And with the Groypers exposing him, his money dried up. But yeah, it's neocons and conservatives. But it's right wing. Oh no, the scary right wing. Freaking Spurs. Anyway, let's see what Stephanie and Emily here have to say. A young campaigner who has been hailed by climate skeptics as the right's answer to Greta Thunberg has previously described a white nationalist who appeared to promote white genocide theories as one of her inspirations. See, completely taken out of context. You've got white genocide in quotes, inspirations in quotes, not the full context of what she said. See, this is what the left has to do. They can't take something in full context and push their bullshit narrative. It's so sleazy. Because she appeals to more of the general public than Spurg, Saint Greta herself. They're scared. So they have to attack this poor girl. And you know what gets me is she's 19, so their justification would be, oh, well, it's fair game. She's an adult. But I would put money, because they did it with the shit bricks, the kids in Florida, with the shooting. Oh God, what the hell is his name? The one who wasn't even there and became like the poster child for it. But yeah, he was 18 and they're going, you can't attack a kid. He's an adult. He's 18. He's an adult. She's 19. When Greta turns 18, can she be, free of protection from being criticized? Of course not. But let's go after Naomi. Naomi Seibt, I butcher that, a 19-year-old from Munster, Germany, who styles herself as a climate realist, has also had to deny she made remarks that could be seen as anti-Semitic following an attack on a synagogue last year. Yeah, see, this isn't slanted. This isn't trying to push a narrative. This isn't trying to label her as a white supremacist. This isn't trying to label her as alt-right. This isn't trying to label her as, that particular group from the 1930s and, 40s in Germany. Oh, no, this isn't designed to do that. Oh, no, because how dare she not buy into the we've only got 12 years left bullshit. Like a good little girl. Come on now. Seibt has been described as the darling of climate change deniers and spoke at a small side event at the Conservative Political Action Committee, a high-profile annual meeting of right-wing activists in Washington that will also feature the U.S. President Donald Trump. It's conservative. See, they can't say conservative because conservative doesn't sound all scary. It doesn't sound all 1984. It doesn't invoke fear. Oh. Fucking propagandists. And it's not the fact that they're climate change deniers. They're realists. They're like, This is complete horseshit. You say we're going to die in 12 years. That makes absolutely no sense. Oh, you're a climate change denier. For saying you're fucking nuts. Okay. Sure, whatever. Right. Uh-huh. Believe what you want to believe. You in denial cognitive dissonance nitwit. See, they have to also do the right-wing thing and throw Donald Trump in there. She's been called a young, fresh voice for free markets and climate realism, for questioning the scientific consensus on climate crisis, which she's called ridiculous. Because it is. Consensus is not fucking science. I don't care if you want to call it science. It's not. Science is repeatable results using the scientific method. That's science. Getting together and going, oh, we believe this is the case, is a fucking opinion. It's that simple. But yet, oh no, if you deny consensus opinion, you're a denier. Opinions are like assholes. Everybody's got one. That doesn't mean they're true. Today, climate change science really is not science at all. Well said by Seibt. Or Seibt has said, I'll say, but I'm saying it's well said. The goal of climate scientists is to shame humanity. Yes, it is. Climate change alarmism, at its very core, is a despicably anti-human ideology, and we are told to look down at our achievements with guilt, with shame and disgust, and not even to take into account the many major benefits we have achieved by using fossil fuels as our main energy source. All of it well said, all of it very true. It is an anti-human ideology. When you're talking about, oh, well, you shouldn't be having kids. Oh, well, you should go get, sterilized. Oh, we need to depopulate. That's anti-fucking human. When you make all of our achievements, the cities we've built, the infrastructure to get from point A to point B, the fact that we've managed to create the airplane, okay, and automobiles and everything else, when you look down at that shit, okay, and you tell us we should feel guilty about that, she's right. You want to shame and disgust us over that. For things that are positive, that have improved humanity's abilities to reach where it's been, or reach where it is right now. It's grown because of these leaps in science, actual science, not climate science, not consensus. Science brought by scientific method through research, actual research, not climate models that can't be replicated. Even if you put all the variables in and try to make it so that you can. All right? But the average person seeing a problem and deciding there has to be a solution to that and finding it themselves. We're told to look down on that. We're told to feel guilty about that. She's right. We're told all those benefits that those things have brought us. Well, we should be like condemning it because fossil fuels. Come on now. That's how it is. She's right. Deal with the truth. Which, of course, the left had to do a deep dive on her. So anyway, let's see what they found here. An examination of the young activist's YouTube videos and interviews has revealed that Seibt had shown support for an alt-right activist. You keep making these accusations. Where's your fucking proof? You keep claiming shit, but you got nothing to back it up. You keep slandering this poor girl, or actually in print, it's libel. You keep libeling this poor girl, but you haven't shown one goddamn thing that actually backs what you're saying. In a YouTube discussion last year that was highlighted in a report by the German broadcaster ZDF, Seibt discussed an attack on a synagogue and how that killed two people who were outside the temple, and the Jews said Jews were considered to be at the top of groups who were seen as being oppressed. Well, no offense, But in Germany, because of the guilt since World War II, they kind of fucking are. Holy friggin' shit. They're a protected class in Germany. It's basically written out in their fucking constitution or equivalent that you can't say anything bad about the Jews. You got to treat them special. Well, I'm exaggerating on the last part. But you can't even talk about the fucking Holocaust, pretty much, unless it's to push the official fucking narrative that makes Germans feel guilty about what happened. For, when they had nothing themselves, the generations of Germans alive today, they had nothing to do with it. And the thing is I love how they leave out the fact of who attacked those particular Jews. Was it people who drive trucks apiece? Oh, that's right. It was. Ordinary Germans, she said, were at the bottom. Muslims, she added, were somewhere in between. And she's right. When you have in the German public pools Muslims raping German girls, women, and boys and getting a free fucking pass? Yeah. The ordinary Germans are at the fucking bottom, and those particular people that tend to drive trucks apiece, or from an ideology that tends to drive trucks apiece, yeah, they're above them. Oh, well, it's cultural differences. How is it a cultural difference to have the concept of thou shalt not rape another person, thou shalt not violate them in that way? But yet they just wipe it off as cultural differences, and they try to get the girls to not testify. The girls and the boys and the women, they try to cover the shit up. So how is what she said not factually friggin' accurate? Huh, Guardian? Oh, that's right. You don't care about accuracy. You're pushing a narrative. You're trying to attack this girl because, heaven forbid, someone stand up that's similar in age to Greta and counter her bullshit and counter your narratives that she's pushing on the left, from the left. The remarks were part of a video discussion that appears to have been deleted. They were seen by some experts as saying the Germans had less pity for ordinary German victims of crime than for Jews and Muslims. Which is fucking true. When you literally have the German police arresting people for calling out the shit that people who happen to be of a particular faith are doing. And I'm not saying the Jews, because they weren't. And they're getting arrested for that. Or saying, okay, I will defend myself against them, and you're getting arrested. Or, okay, your kid gets assaulted and they steal the property, and you go and say, give me back my kid's property, and you get arrested. I think, I could be wrong here, I think there's less pity going on there. I could be wrong. That's just my opinion, but I could be wrong. A portion of the discussion was included in a report by ZDF and is still available online. This doesn't back you here. Where's your fucking proof on that white supremacist alt-right bullshit, and she's a white nationalist and all that other crap you're insinuating? Oh, that's right. You don't have any actual proof. Seibt did not respond to a request for comment from The Guardian, although her mother argued she's not a supporter of the far right. At the conservative event, Seibt was asked twice about this article. She called it ridiculous how the media cherry picks things that I said, and excuse me, and said she is not an anti-Semite. Yeah, doesn't fit your narrative, but you're still going to keep trying to push the narrative. In fact, I was commenting that I think it is wrong to comment on different races and to view them differently, Seibt said. We should just all be regarded as the same. That is what I was actually saying. That is how I perceive the public view on different races or different religions. And she's right. She was basically saying that. She's saying, look, you have these people being treated as a privileged class, and you took it out of context. Pointing out that you have privileged classes and saying that Germans, native-born Germans are lower on the fucking totem pole, which can be shown objectively. Triggers you because it doesn't fit your narrative because, oh no, whites aren't oppressed. Oh no, they're not becoming second-class citizens. Germany's kind of leading the way with that shit. Thanks to Merkel. Oh, come on. We take care of you. We give you welfare. We'll give you a place to live. Shit, we'll buy your food. Oh, come on, Kanal. Yeah. But hey, let's not look at things in context. It is clear that she is articulating, no matter how inarticulately, age-old tropes of Jewish power and white grievance, the idea that Jews are a privileged class and that white people are oppressed by them, said Imran Ahmed, the chief executive of Center for Countering Digital Hate, who studied the remarks. So, where did she actually say that? Nowhere. And I love how you have Imran Ahmed, a Muslim, trying to say will he call out Islam for saying shit about Jews? Of course not. But he'll attack this girl because she's also pointing out shit about issues with his house, and people should kind of keep their houses in order. But see, they are keeping their houses in order by their standards, not by the ones that we set in the West. And that's why he's got a problem, because he isn't keeping the place how we want him to keep the place, on the note of the standards in that community. So, of course, he's going to side here on this one and push this bullshit. She wasn't inarticulate. And how are these were tropes? She literally said that they're a privileged class. She didn't then say that whites were being oppressed by the Jews or the Muslims or whatever else. She never said that. He's injecting that into what she said himself to push his narrative, and the narrative that the left likes to push. When Seibt was challenged by German reporters about whether the remarks could be seen as anti-Semitic, Seibt replied, "If someone perceives my remarks as meaning something different, well then of course I cannot influence this perception." Very well said. No matter what she says, they're still going to portray it however they're going to portray it. You got to give this girl credit. At 19, she does have a good head on her shoulders. In another YouTube interview describing her embrace of views that were outside the mainstream, Seibt referred to the Canadian alt-right internet activist Stefan Molyneux as an inspiration. First off, I'm not a fan of Molyneux. Okay? But I'll be the first to say he's not fucking alt-right by speaking about genetics. I understand the left doesn't believe genetics, is real these days. To them, it's a fucking construct, okay, when it comes to, biological sex and things like intelligence and stuff like that. Genetics does not exist. So that because Stefan Molyneux speaks about it, those things, genetics in particular, and its inheritability with the idea of IQ, he's alt-right. This is such bullshit. I'm not a fan of Molyneux, and I'm defending him here. Molyneux has been described as an alleged cult leader. Oh, I'm sorry if you're wearing headphones with that laugh. I'm so sorry. Molyneux's a cult leader. Oh my God. He's going to start Molyneux Town. We're going to have, his version of Jonestown, and everyone's going to literally drink the Kool-Aid and die at some point. That's what they're trying to portray here. Holy shit. So anyway, he's an alleged cult leader who amplifies scientific racism, eugenics, and white supremacism. So wait a minute. Whoa. Scientific racism. Is that a new term for speaking about genetics and how genetics have a factor on IQ? Huh. He's never spoke about eugenics. He's spoken out against eugenics. He's not someone who's saying we should sterilize the stupid or minority groups or anything like that. This is complete libel right here. He's never spoken of white supremacism. He's never said whites are supreme to any other ethnicity, skin color, or anything like that. He's actually said that Jews are more intelligent than Caucasians in general. Okay, going by the general rule. You know, going by the bell curve in genetics. He said Asians are even smarter than that. How are you a fucking white supremacist when you're saying, whites aren't the smartest out there. The Jews tend to be, Ashkenazi Jews tend to be smarter. And Asians tend to be even smarter than them. That makes absolutely no sense. Well, of course, because Molyneux is described like that by the Southern Poverty Law Center, which monitors extremism and white supremacy. Oh, God, the SPLC says it, so it must be true. Molyneux said in a statement to The Guardian, I have always opposed the idea of racial superiority/inferiority, which he has. In 2019, Molyneux said, I have always been skeptical of the ideas of white nationalism, of identitarianism, and white identity. However, I am an empiricist. And I could not help but notice that I could have peaceful, free, easy, civilized, and safe discussions in what is essentially an all-white country. So he makes an observation that triggers your sensibilities and upsets you. And that makes him a racist? Because do you think in South Africa he could have, that happen? No, not necessarily. I mean, white people are getting killed on their farms and shit. He kind of higher odds of being a target there. Do you think he could go into, Grenade Central in Sweden and have a discussion about these things? Of course not. They'd take a fragmentation grenade, a pineapple grenade, and shove it up his ass after they anally raped him and pull the pin. So don't even. Don't even. That's their proof that, she stuck to a white nationalist. She's praising a white nationalist. That's their fucking bullshit proof. The SPLC's claim that Molyneux's a white fucking nationalist, supremacist, eugenicist, evil, just like super genius, evil mastermind. Jesus Christ. Seibt defended that comment, saying it was out of context. Well, of course it was out of context. You're talking about the legacy media. The lefties in it never put anything in its proper context unless it benefits their point of view. He was not devaluing other races, not at all. He was just describing his experience in Western countries, and I agree with that. It's not that we are better in any way in Western countries. It's that and that's not the point that Molyneux was trying to make. It's just that we still have freedom of speech in these countries, and we're very happy that's the case. Well said. I agree with that. So, Seibt has been hired by a U.S. think tank called the Heartland Institute, which has traditionally been financed by fossil fuel and coal companies, and is known for pushing radical anti-science theories about climate crisis. You mean, so wait a minute. Who's financed it on your claims of oil and coal? And you mean they question the consensus? The opinion? Opinions are like assholes. Everybody's got one. And my opinion is maybe you guys should start using the scientific method? Huh? Do you think? In 2012, Heartland set up a billboard in Illinois that featured a photograph of the Unabomber Ted Kaczynski and the words, I still believe in global warming. Do you? Oh, so it triggered you that they actually took a climate change whack job and used him as the poster child to go against you? Aw, too bad, so sad. Deal with it. The Mercer Family Foundation, which is run by Rebecca Mercer, a financial donor to Donald Trump and the daughter of the hedge fund mogul Robert Mercer, has previously been one of Heartland's biggest contributors, with records showing a total of $7.5 million in donations since the group's founding. So wait a minute. I thought you said that it was funded by, what was it? The gas companies and, what was the other one? Coal companies? Which fossil fuel companies would be both coal and fucking gas, by the way, you dumb shits. They're the same thing. It's a fossil fuel. But you're saying it's financed by fossil fuel, but you just said the biggest contributor to it, which was $7.5 million. I had to define that again. Was from someone who wasn't from either one, coal or gas. Interesting. Records show that the public backing by the Mercers has waned over the last several years, while another organization called Donors Trust and its affiliates have become Heartland's primary funder. Now, what's funny is they say that she's the largest contributor and that what money she's contributed has grown smaller, or the Mercers' money has grown smaller in the contributions, we'll just say. And it's predominantly funded by coal and oil. Predominantly funded means the bulk of the funding comes from that particular group. You just said Mercer here is the bulk of where the money's come from. Make up your damn minds. You can't even lie and keep your lies straight with the truth. Holy shit. This is so bad. Donors Trust and associated organizations have donated more than $20 million to Heartland, according to records compiled and analyzed by DSMOG, which tracks the funding of climate-denying groups. The Mercer Family Foundation is a donor to Donors Trust and its affiliates. Oh, so wait a minute. So not only did the money wane, it went into Donors Trust, and you're trying to make it sound like this is like, oh no, someone else came in and no. They're still funding it. Wow. Heartland officials did not respond to multiple requests for comment about Seibt, her previous remarks, or questions about who is funding the campaigners' work for Heartland. The Mercer Family Foundation did not respond to a request for comment about its support for Heartland. Yeah, because they think you're fucking spurging idiots. I tend to agree. Why would they give you the time of day? I wouldn't. Brian DeMel, the executive director of DSMOG, said Heartland was considered so extreme in Washington that they can't even get support anymore from Exxon. Translation: the left has put so much pressure on Exxon that they've cucked just to appease them and haven't thrown any money to Heartland's way. Which kind of destroys your whole statement that this is like a big coal, big gas, like funded group meant to push disinformation to protect their industry. If Exxon won't even fucking touch them, what you implied about the fact of, well, they had a lot of money coming in from coal. It was their coal and gas. That was their predominant source, even though this bitch paid most of their funding. That narrative doesn't work with this. It didn't work in the first place because of the fact of, one paragraph or one sentence, you're saying this, and then another sentence, you're saying that they aren't the biggest funders because this woman is. Jesus Christ. Sheldon Whitehouse, a Democratic senator from Rhode Island, who has called for action on climate crisis, said in a statement to The Guardian, even among climate denial groups, Heartland's behavior and brazen attacks on science stand out. Oh no! So wait a minute, they find a girl that's approachable, that is more public friendly and presentable than Greta the Spurg, and you don't like that? Well, too freaking bad. Deal with it. All right? Because that's basically right there. That's them trying to use one thing to attack the fact that they don't like that Heartland has someone better than Greta. Kurt Davies, the founder of the Climate Investigation Center, which investigates climate-denying groups, said Heartland was promoting a counter-narrative to the environmentalists, but would ultimately fail. Wait a minute, why would they ultimately fail? If you had the facts on your side, instead of consensus, you had actual, repeatable, provable fact, okay, that was derived using the scientific method, it would be considered scientific fact. You could say it's scientific fact. And it would be scientific fact. But see, you try to say, well, it's consensus. Well, if you actually try to say, well, it's a fact because it is consensus. And when people go, well, facts aren't consensus. A consensus is an opinion. It's a group opinion. Well, but they all agree. So you got to agree. You got to believe. So if they were to say that we can all fly, are we supposed to jump off of cliffs and be like, Whitney Houston going, I believe I can fly, as we go like face first towards the rocks below to face plant? Seriously. Because that's what this idea of consensus is. They are trying to ride Greta's wave, but there is no way this person is going to win hearts and minds the way Greta has, Davies said. They are trying to blunt the impact of Greta. Oh, wow. This last statement here is very, very telling. As I've already just said. All right. They are scared, or I've actually believe I said it multiple times here, but they are scared of Naomi. They are scared shitless of this girl. She is a better face on the note of in regards to the public. All right. She doesn't have the evil eye, like, if you piss her off, or not even, she just looks at you the wrong way and your face is going to melt off like Raiders of the Lost Ark. Greta has that going on. She's way more approachable. All right. She's way more professional. She's way more personable. And that scares them. See, and they look at the fact of having someone come out to counter Greta that's at her age and on that idea level, like on at least the note of like age. Okay. To have that happen, they're trying to say is they're trying to ride on Greta's wave. No, they're trying to basically counter Greta's bullshit and the left's bullshit. They're trying to provoke discussion and, I don't know, thought about the fact of what is actually considered inexplicable fact, what's considered consensus, aka opinion, and go from there. And you don't like that because you just want to push the fucking narrative and have everyone bow down and cuck and submit their will in the name of climate change. But sorry, yeah. There's a new girl in town and she is cuter. She doesn't have the spurg issues that Greta has. And as I labeled off a bunch of things that she has as qualities, they all make her better than Greta. So you're going to have to deal with that. Greta's impact is going to falter because of Naomi. More people are going to be like, well, this bitch is crazy. This bitch is personable. This bitch is mean. This bitch, this girl is nice. Well, I shouldn't be calling Naomi a bitch, but Greta, on the other hand, I think I called Naomi a bitch. I apologize for that. But you got bitch over here and nice girl. Who are you going to pick? Psycho bitch? Who's talking about lining you up against a wall? Or the nice girl? Who doesn't want to do that? I think I'll go with the nice girl who doesn't want to line me up against a wall. Thank you very much. Anyway, I've covered this well enough. I'm just going to leave things here. If you liked this video, depending on where you are watching it, please give it an upvote or thumbs up. If you want to know when new content of mine hits the internet, don't forget to subscribe to one or more of my social media or video accounts listed here. Also, with YouTube, don't forget to ring that bell. You can find all of my video content on both BitChute and YouTube. This may not be the case with other places I upload to, but I will try to minimize this happening. You are always welcome to interact with me at any of these sites on the list, so feel free to do so. If you have anything you want me to cover in a video, when it comes to news or current events, send it right along to me. I will try to do my best to cover it. As always, thank you for watching.